Hey everybody, it's TR. And I just want to talk today about how you guys deal with gas. And yeah, I know how most of us deal with it. We go buy a new guitar, right? So gas, let me just recap. Guitar acquisition syndrome, or if you will, gear acquisition syndrome. So like everybody else, we watch each other's videos. Well, some of us do. I hope some of you watch mine. Obviously, if you hear this, you're watching mine. If you're familiar with J-Man, he's a dude. I think he mentioned something about Prince Edward Island. So he's up in Canada, up Nova Scotia way, up in the Maritimes. Guy's a monster player. I mean, he does those chicken picking licks. He just tears the fretboard up. And he has, as he said, all inexpensive guitars. I have both. Well, I don't have real expensive ones, but I have guitars that, cost a little bit, and I have some that were cheap. Anyways, I digress. My point of the gas I am dealing with. I just got my Tony Iommi-esque Firefly that is so awesome. They have on Firefly right now an Aldo Nova. And a lot of you aren't going to know what an Aldo Nova is. You're not going to know who Aldo Nova is. But humor me. He's a dude from Montreal, Canada. J-Man should know who he is. He's a dude from Montreal, Canada. They had a big hit called Fantasy back in the early 80s. And he had a custom-made Les Paul that had an Explorer headstock on it. It was in a cherry burst. And Guitar Gardens right now has a Firefly that is a Les Paul knockoff with a Explorer headstock and a cherry burst. Oh, I'm so tempted. What else am I tempted about? Well, J-Man's guitar. That's why I mentioned J-Man. He bought a Telecaster. It was a West Creek, and it had a kill switch here. And I said, that's kind of like a John 5 guitar. Is J-Man John 5? Anyways, it's kind of like a John 5 guitar. He's like, oh, maybe it is. So I went and found it on Amazon because I was curious. I was liking the looks of it. He said it was like 300 Canadian. I thought, well, it's got to be 200 American, 219 American is what it is. And now, sure enough, they had a white version of it with red binding, red pickups, red plastics, the kill switch. It's a John 5 knockoff. Now, I'm not a super big John 5 fan, although I admire him. He is a heck of a player. Love the look of the guitar. I'm a sucker for the red pickups. I don't own any guitars with red pickups. Also, same for Aldo Nova. One hit wonder, as far as I know, for that song, but such a cool looking Les Paul. Oh, do you want to get a real one? There's somebody with the early 80s Aldo Nova Les Paul right now on Reverb, but they only want $100,000 for it. $199 for the Firefly. So anyhow, back to the J-Man guitar. I thought, how stupid would it be for me to buy that when I have this? Yeah, except for the kill switch and the red. This is a Squier Contemporary Telly. It's one of the higher end Squiers. I've got a roasted maple neck. I've got high quality tuners that came on it. It came with a railed pickup in the bridge and a humbucker. I just so happened to have a Seymour Duncan Hot Rails for Tellys laying around and thought, well, let's put this in there. So that's what I did. So I've got this Duncan in here. I had a Lamsam wiring harness for a Telly given to me. It was on a chrome plate. I switched it over to the black plate, but it's got the mechanical Fender style switch, full-size pots. This had small pots, and it's got a push-pull for the coil split, which in its original form, this guitar did not have a coil split. The pickup that came in here for this position was not splittable. This one was. Well, I got the Duncan in there now, so guess what? They're both splittable. So I have coil split. I'll never use it, but I've got it. So yeah, stupid gas. Am I going to buy one of those guitars? Well, probably not the John 5 looking one because I've got this. And what am I using to tell me not to get the Aldo Nova guitar? Haha, what am I using? I'm using the thought that they might come out with something even cooler and I don't want to shoot my wad on that and then be like, oh, I can't get another one now. I mean, I just got one beginning of this week. I really shouldn't be getting another one yet anyways, right? Yeah, I know. Life is short by the guitar. But the Black Sabbath styled guitar was something that I really wanted, and I just like Black Sabbath music a lot. So maybe something special in that direction will come out. Now, those Fireflies, out of nowhere appeared a couple of Dimebag Darrell style guitars that I noticed last night, late last night. This morning they were gone. So that's what happens. Well, if you guys know Firefly, that's what happens with Firefly. So I don't know, just curious. How do you deal with gas? And the big question, should I get that Aldo Nova guitar?